Hello and welcome to another KurtzPel video. I'm Zelp and today we are going to talk about combos. In our last video, I showed you guys how I would train if I'm trying to explore a new karma or weapon, and I show you guys what you can do to learn so you can check out or inspect players and see what kind of skill they use, what kind of setup they have. You can also go for the stone of honor in order to check out what are the high rankers and what are their builds. After you have something to try out, I recommend it that you go for PvE or PvP as frequently as you can. If you go for PvP, you want to go for the one that has the boss, which is a small type boss, and you want to be able to have that boss endurance bar easily removed. That way you can start doing combos and practice in that way. If you go for PvP, I recommend it over there that you look for 101s. So although there's no public 101 PvP, but there are certain maps where it kind of forces a 101, or it's easily to pull someone out and you can actually have a 101 with them. Now, the reason why I do not recommend you guys to come over to a training ground right off the bat is simply because you do not have a good feel of your skills and how the weapon behaves. So by practicing over here is very, unproductive, considering that you could actually spend time, especially if you're new, to gain CP in missions, gain AP. Maybe your skills are not fully ranked and you can do all that in PvP and PvE, better than coming over here and test the skills and slowly try and figure things out. You can figure all these things out while you're grinding, which is part of the game. The grind is something that you need to get through in order to get all the things that you need. This includes sub-karma crystals that you'll probably be crafting in order to get as well. So in that video, I explained all the basic stuff, and the main focus for that is really to get comfortable with all the skills that you have and how the weapon behave. Now you can come over to the training ground and start figuring out combos. So there are 3 basic combos from what I can see in KurtzPel. The first one is kind of something that I feel like a lot of people already know, but did not really notice this much in PvP. So when you go into a PvE fight, the boss has this endurance bar, which is purple. I call it super armor. And once you crack that, the boss actually can be comboed, right? So all your attacks can actually stagger him. He could not move. And this actually applies to players as well. So the first type of combo is where you don't really need to do high amount of damage. All you have to do is be able to break his initial shields, and that's it's gonna sound like glass breaking. There is a slight animation as well where you see some kind of blue sprite coming out from the body, and once that happens, you can actually kind of make him flinch really easily, even with very simple attacks. Now, there are breaker weapons and there are slayer weapons, which I hope everyone here already know. Breaker weapons are good at causing that endurance bar to go down, and once that goes down, even if you were to use a slayer weapon, it's going to flinch the enemy. Flinching is basically where they move back or they have some kind of animation that prevents them from doing anything else. Now, when you come to a training ground, there is one very important factor, which is the dummy here does not have any endurance at all. So what this means is that even if you are using slayer weapons, you actually see him flinch a lot. But in real PvP, if he has even a little bit of endurance and it's not depleted, you'll see him able to move freely. He can initiate a skill, he can pull off an ability, he can sometimes even just walk away from your attack. So in order to start doing that flinch, the easiest way is really to start off with a breaker weapon. So the first type of combo I want to talk about is where you cause the endurance to break, and then you can do whatever you want. As long as you are constantly hitting the enemy, he won't be able to escape. And I feel like one of the thing that is really powerful for the great sword is this simple combo, this one. So basically 2 left click and a left click hold. Now this simple combo is very effective because in the first 2 hits, sometime in the first hit, is going to break that super armor. And once that happens, the subsequent spinning and all this is just going to hold him in place, making him unable to move away. Now sometimes for PvP players, the player themselves, the character, their endurance bar regenerates even while you are comboing them. So there are times where they will have a small opening where they can escape, but a lot of the time right after the break they'll probably won't be able to escape as long as you're constantly hitting him for a good like 3 to 5 seconds, and in that time you can do all kinds of things to him. So that is the first kind of combo where you initiate a break and then you hit him constantly and therefore locking him in place. Now the second type of combo is one that is more popular, especially in PvP, is where you keep him away from the ground. So in order for them to do a dodge, their feet has to be on the ground. If they are not, they cannot escape. So what I'm trying to say here is that one of the popular way to start a combo is really to start with a launch, right? Let me do that again. So you do a launch, you space, right? And then there, you can see that he's always being suspended. His legs are not on the ground. And that is the second type of combo. You start with an initiating ability. Usually it's an ability or a launch. And after that, you just keep hitting them while he's in the air, preventing him from ever touching the ground so he cannot escape. So this is the second type combo and really popular. You can actually start off, let's say if you're using a great sword, you can start with a stun ability, for example this one. And this one has really good super armor as well, so it's very hard to stop. So anyways, yeah, so you do this, you get stunned, and then you can start with a launch. So easy way, right? And then you combo, just make sure you hit him before he lands, and then you get the second type of combo. So third one works by applying bursts of combos, maybe like 2 skills at a time, or a skill and a follow-up attack, and then after that letting them escape, only to be able to catch them back again with a separate skill. Now currently my setup is a great sword and a dual souls, so I'm going to show you one simple combo, but that's going to be with the great sword and dual souls. This is something that I'm working on, and I feel like it's fairly easy to pull off. Now the idea here is just first you need to find a way to initiate the combo. You can start with any of the stun skills. You can start with this and then do a launch, right? You can do your stun hit obviously and do a launch. You can also do your land demolisher and then do a launch before he hits the ground, like that. Once in the air, you do need to chase him, and then when he's in the air, you hit him 3 times, switch weapons, and when you switch weapon, he actually hits it a 4th time, and you'll actually push him up a little bit, and then after that, you will attack him with your dual souls another 3 times, and then you land, and before he lands, you need to attack him and do Destiny's Restraint, which does a lot of damage. Okay, so let's see if I can pull it off. Here we go. So you launch, you hit 3 times, switch over, you can hit him up to another 3 times, land. There you go. Do Destiny's Restraint. You can even follow up with a critical hit. I went a little bit slow there. If you do your critical strike fast enough, you can actually still continue while he's still suspended in the air. I also have Ren. Now I feel like Ren can be useful. Instead of doing the 3 hits of the attack when you're falling with the Slayer weapon, you can actually start with a Ren as well. So when you switch your weapon, after a normal attack, it actually performs a special attack, a weapon switching attack. For the broadsword, after the attack, is that he kind of launches the enemy up. So once you do that special attack when switching, it takes a really long time before you can switch back to your initial weapon. So that is something that you need to know. Sometimes you might find, oh, why can't I switch back to a weapon that I was using? It's probably because of this situation. Again, with the Ren. Come up, hit him 3 times, turn, use Ren, and then attack. So you actually use your Ren while he is in air. And Ren is one of the abilities that you can actually use while in flight. And I think that's the only ability in the game. I'm actually not too sure. I haven't seen any other abilities that allows you to use it in mid-air. So Ren is one of it where you can actually still use it in mid-air. So it slows the enemy. It also produces some kind of bleed, which is something like a poison where it does damage over time. And overall, quite a good damaging ability if you can sneak one Ren inside. Now there's one combo, especially if you are really new to the game, I would highly recommend using if you are trying to win matches or if you're trying to clear a boss fight. The combo is very simple. It's just Land Demolisher followed by Storm Slash. It's just such a good combo. So let me show you how it looks like. For your Land Demolisher, try to do it as close as possible and activate your Storm Slash. So it'll be suspended, you cannot escape, and you'll be doing a lot of damage to him. So this is just a very simple and effective way as well. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this video. The focus here is really just to let you guys know that combo is definitely a thing. Although I would not advise you going for combos right off the bat, you do want to spend time leveling and also getting all your skills maxed out first, because once they're maxed out, usually they come with some extra perks, and those perks can actually change the way you would combo. I'm also here to help explain the 3 types of combo, which I think is really effective and it will work, and also share the combo that I've come up with so far. So let me know down in the comments what are your favorite Kamars to combine with and what kind of combo would you do. I'm looking forward to see it, especially if it's a Great Sword and Dual Souls, which I am practicing right now. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.